Wall Street facing increasing turbulence this week, particularly with big cap tech stocks. The Nasdaq sliding again after its worst day since 2022, marking a continuation of the shift away from tech. With this move out of tech shares, does it leave an opportunity on the table, maybe worth taking for investors? We're looking at how to navigate the big picture with the Yahoo Finance Playbook. Spear Invest founder and CIO Ivana Delevska joins us now. She is a tech investor. So Ivana, as we are seeing this pullback here, does it make sense for people to add to positions? And if so, how should they be thinking about doing that?
Thanks for having me, Julie. So we do still see a lot of opportunities in the data center value chain. And I think it makes a lot of sense to add to that on this pullback. This has been a pretty meaningful pullback on what is a headline risk, right, that you always have in the sector. And the stocks are down more than 10% from the levels. So I think it's a very good time for investors to take a look at the data center value chain.
And when you say data center value chain, Ivana, what name specifically are you talking about?
So the core of the data center value chains would be opportunities inside the rack. So would be processors like NVIDIA, AMD. But then the opportunity is broader than that, right? It's basically the entire infrastructure build out around data centers. So there's opportunities in thermal management, power management, even at the utilities level, because energy is one of the big constraints that we see. So it's really going to be across the board.
Ivana, earlier today, I talked to the Blackstone president and chief operating officer, Jonathan Gray. Blackstone, a huge investor in data centers. And I asked him sort of how he's thinking about a little bit of the skepticism that's been out there right now. And he talked to me about that investment. Listen to what he had to say.
We think there are going to be a lot of changes. Some of that may take a bit of time. But our focus has really been on building the backbone, the infrastructure of the 21st century, which is the data centers and the power that goes with it. I think this will come. What the profitability will be, which applications will win, I think that is uncertain. But I think the path here towards more AI, more compute power, and therefore more infrastructure needed is the way to go.
So you were just talking about the infrastructure as well, but it does seem like at least some of this sell-off, while yes, it was spurred by concerns over China, also has to do with real questions about not the infrastructure, but like what you do with it, right? The software, the end users. How are you thinking about those questions?
That's right, Julie. So that's really the main question here is, are there end applications that are useful, that are justifying all of this investment that is going in place? And seemingly, if you look at what's come out, apart from ChatGPT, at first sight, there doesn't seem to be a ton of large multi-billion-dollar applications. But what I think the market is missing is that some of the early investors like Meta, like Google, they're investing significant dollars into this. They're doing it to defend their current business, right? So if Google doesn't keep up with ChatGPT, their entire business is under attack. Similar with Meta, they were able to really do a good job with Reels and Instagram and reinvigorate their business. So just these two applications of recommenders are just huge investments and require significant investment going forward to keep up with it. And then as we go forward, it's going to take 2 to 3 years to see real applications come through. We are already seeing it on the early side with customer service and productivity improvement tools that are really leveraging the large language models. But the next level, the next layer of opportunity will be in the physical, like robotics, autonomous driving, and that's going to take a little bit longer to play out. Nevertheless, you do need to make the investments today in compute to be able to advance these applications even a little bit.
Ivana, another space I know you monitor closely is the cybersecurity sector, Ivana. I'm interested in what names you like here at these levels. And also in that same theme, Ivana, any thoughts on these reports we're seeing of a potential Alphabet Wiz deal?
Yeah, absolutely. We really like the cybersecurity space. I think it got caught in the software sell-off, while the fundamentals for cybersecurity are significantly improving. So we're seeing a lot of opportunities there today. We like Zscaler, we like Datadog, we like many companies, and we disclose our holdings on our website just for your viewers. On the Wiz On the Wiz deal, I think it would, at first sight, it looked like a low probability deal, but the more we dug into it, it makes a lot of strategic sense for Google. Even though Wiz is one of those companies, they're very rapidly growing. They just raised their new round. It didn't seem like they would need to be doing an acquisition or they would need to sell themselves. But the more we looked into it, it does seem like a very good strategic fit. The price tag that they're paying is pretty significant and has pretty positive implications for the rest of cybersecurity, both for the companies that are next-gen leaders with similar growth profiles to Wiz, as well as smaller cap players like SentinelOne, for example, that is in that same boat, very high growth, but hasn't been able to really get a good valuation in the public markets.
Ivana, always great to have you on the show. Thanks for joining us.